Hey everyone, Seduce Barcode here with another episode of Unbearable to Bearable. This time we're joined by Colt, who will be able to give you guys some more insights and
Hello.
pointers. Hello, hello Barcode.
Hello.
But yeah, so hopefully the extra person here, we're gonna try get more people in as well, like Junior, maybe Benno sometime, and just some more experienced players that have competed at the top and know what to look for in game. Um, this is a Truth CTF video that I've already recorded and analyzed, but I had some audio issues, so we're just going to run through it again. And just as a side note, we have experienced a theater glitch where the objective markers, like the flags and the strongholds, will disappear in game, and that only happens if we rewind or skip. So I'm going to try my best not to rewind, but if that does happen, then um,
It should be easy to point out
I'll
the
try and
flags.
give you guys a heads up on what's relevant, like where the flag is, why I'm making a decision, etc. Um, so just as we discussed earlier, I wanted to make sure that we talked about what CTF actually is. It's very simple, like it's getting to 3 caps to win the game. So you can cut out a lot of the bullshit, meaning you don't have to get into like 10 engagements before you start running a flag. As I explained to my old team on T1, if you cap 1 flag, you're 1/3 of the way done, like 1/3 of the game complete. If you cap 2 flags, that's 2/3 done. Obviously, if you cap 3, you win the game, but just being able to emphasize on getting 1 cap or 2 caps puts an immense amount of pressure on the enemy team. Literally, they'll start making mistakes, especially if the clock's running out, which makes the game easier for you. It's more in your control. Is there anything you guys want to add to that?
Um, I think, yeah, like adding on to like what you were saying about people getting pressured. Like honestly, when teams go up 2-0, man, I feel the other teams like then starts stressing out a whole bunch
Yeah.
because obviously it requires only one more 4 dead for them to lose the entire match.
Exactly, and that's what I meant
Exactly.
about the 1/3 of the game complete.
Yeah,
Like, if you in this video, we're going to try help you guys recognize those opportunities that you can take. Like, I know at the start of the game here, I completely leave a guy and go towards their flag, and that's because if I get a kill closer to their flag, I'm in a position to actually run it. So rather than worrying about killing a guy that's irrelevant and isn't really a threat to us, if I get that 1 kill on their side, that can turn into a capture, and that's the type of pressure that I was talking about before,
I
where 1/3 of
Yeah.
the game will be complete.
I think a,
honestly. Oh, sorry, Colt.
I think a pure example of that was probably like season 2 Pro League of Halo 5. I think it was Tox versus Envy when Hugh was still playing,
Mm.
and they had a truth flag that went the whole entire distance, but they only won like I think 1-0.
Yeah. And
They
yeah,
won
so it
1-0.
really does come down to one player, especially if you have 2 competitive teams that are equal. Like, there's not very many opportunities. It's very like, it's like a slugfest. It's very
Mm.
back and forth. So if you do create that opportunity for your team, you have to take it. And that's what this video is going to be about. Like, in this, on my point of view, this game, I feel like I was a part of all 3 flag runs, whether I was running it myself or whether I was just a part of the run, and also recubs. So just being very objective oriented this game is key to winning, because you can still play like shit. You can miss like every shot, maybe not every shot, because then you won't have any openings, but you can still be playing average, like subpar average, and still help win your team the game. And
Yeah.
if you're playing for prize money, that's key. If you're playing at an actual LAN tournament, you have to recognize those cues in order to get into their flag and do the objective, or just like we talked about in the last video with strongholds, you have to know how to quickly do things when you've got the advantage, how to capitalize on it.
And adding on the how to do things quickly, I feel like this video will show a lot more players how to be more efficient with actually getting the flag out of bases and actually managing to get these runs successfully to your base.
Yeah,
Because I feel like in eights from past experiences, the past few weeks, there's been so many instances where the whole team can die, but no one pushes up, no one gets more map control, no one puts pressure on the enemy team spawners. They just
Yeah.
sort of let them
Yeah.
come off spawn and just regain map control.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I hope we cover that in this video.
yeah, which comes down to positions as well. Most of the time it comes down to positions, but it's also your speed. It's how efficient you are on the map. There's a couple points in the game where you'll see our team running the flag, and a player on their team will make a mistake because they're thinking about how do I stop this, and so you can literally change their decision making in game by just literally throwing a flag out, you know? They feel pressured to do something, and that could result in a pick for your team, which makes the game a lot easier to run that flag. But yeah, I feel like we should get into it and
Yeah.
see what presents itself.
It's
So
also
yeah,
like just objective damage also. Like you'd be surprised. Like sometimes it's not always just getting a kill or shooting someone that's doing damage. It's like positional damage. Like just because you're making the other team worry about where you are.
yeah,
Like that's damaging in a way. Like to awareness
I'll
especially.
also get
Throwing out a
into
flag.
maybe like the damage stat on how weirdly inconsistent it is, because honestly, that stat, like that damage, man, damage can,
make your damage count for something.
yeah, like it's there's so many contexts to where that damage is going. You know, someone can have a ridiculous amount of damage, but who the fuck are they shooting? Are they shooting people that are relevant? Are they shooting people that are actually going to change their outcome? You know?
Yeah. And sometimes you can just sit still in a certain spot. I know it will happen in this game. And you can literally lock down the map. You can keep them contained in an area and
As long as
stall
they're
for your
alive.
team. Yeah.
Yep.
And you just have to literally play your life and keep them there so your team gets like closer to you and gets map control.
Yep.
Alright, let's get into it. So I'm going car off here. A good reason for this is because I can look across to P1, sorry, for the camo. So this is a really good spot to get to. You just have to be worried about getting pushed here. I remember I played a few truth CTFs this night, so a lot of people were trying to counter my start off. So what I'd usually do is nade here and then try get an angle on P1, because if I'm not threatened over here, I'm going to try help our team win that camo fight. If I am threatened over here, I'll obviously try win this battle. I don't want to give away dumb death, otherwise I'm giving them that opportunity to kill my team over here. So that's like the effectiveness of car. As long as you try keep linking, you know, even though this is a relevant play over here for camo, I can still make my position relevant over here. Rather than just running through and doing nothing by myself, I'm making
You're
it
still
relevant.
putting on relevant damage.
Yeah,
on
because
the
that camo
opposite
is
side.
huge. Like I said before, if this camo results in one flag cap, like a pull and a flag cap, we put ourselves in a really good position to win the game.
Also, just the general rule of thumb, I feel on truth starting. I know it's 8, so starting positions are always going to be whack. But I always believe that you need at least 2 people P side for
Yeah,
that
at
camo
least.
to
Yeah.
test it. And here it's sort of like.
And sometimes, like,
skewed.
we've got 2 people car here, Synergy's with me. This can work because it allows me to play a lot more aggressive over here. Let's say, for
On their
example,
base,
Synergy
yeah.
pushes top car. He could be taking away this guy as a threat for me, you know what I mean? Giving me the opportunity to shoot P1, like I said. And you can cut across the map. We mentioned this before we started recording, Jake. But
Yep.
you can literally just slice across the map and be a part of this relevant play. You don't have to just be like, oh, I'm over at car. You just have to learn how to use your movement and mechanics efficiently, so you can use routes, you know, across the map and get to places
knowing
quickly.
what angles as well would help. You know, like I reckon if you abuse those pillars front base, you could honestly get like different angles without being shot from the window or attic. You know, so
Yep.
like sitting like right there, for instance, you know, you can get a wider angle on their P street. People that could be hiding P3, stuff like that. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
just sort of.
And you
different
always
things
just
on
have
the
to
map.
put yourself in their shoes, because like, look at where your team's going. So they're most likely going to be doing roughly the same thing. Of course, there could be a guy going top mid here, so you have to worry about that. But like we said, there's so many different start-offs that you can keep being creative with, you know, and keep changing. But the main point is everyone's playing for camo, because that's the only thing that matters at the moment.
Truth, yeah. Alright.
So I remember I critiqued this as a mistake because of the fact that I'm playing so slow here, because I was worried about this guy top mid. Like, I shouldn't be worried about him, he's no threat to me, but like I said, I changed my startup because I was getting threatened here, and now look, nobody's here. So it's a mistake me playing super slow in this situation, because I am doing nothing. Like, I could at least be progressing towards their flag, you know, and getting up here. And if I get shots on those guys, I'm in an efficient position to get a kill and then run it. And also, like I said, I could just come out here and help us get that camo, which looks like we're going to get.
What I was also going to say, actually, that could have been possible if you sent 2 people car. Like, if you guys get one pick, man, or you see one person's dead on the enemy team, Ty and the other person car can actually set up for a potential flag run, car side.
Agreed.
You know? Depending on how quick everyone is, because understanding where the enemy team is, how many people there, like are down on their team, knowing where they're going to be spawning. If Ty's blocking that car bubble, that should be a relatively easy run.
Are you going to say something, Jake?
Oh, it's just 100%. You can understand what lane is free on the map. Like if you actually kind of break this down, there's kind of like 3 lanes. There's P side, car, and then there's a mid. So if you do get kills on the side, like example car at the start, their lane's pretty free. So you should be able to just run the flag.
Which,
So-
just looking at this, because of the fact Synergy did go top car with me, he shouldn't really be going into bubble here, because there's nothing relevant over here. We haven't earned a pick or anything. He needs to be a part of earning that pick. And if he's free over here, meaning like he's not getting threatened, he should know that the battle's over here. You know, it should be top mid or over at pink side. So he needs to be efficient with being relevant to that play. So he should have cut across top mid and start to be relevant towards that camo play. And then you can just fly in their window after that and start running that flag. But over here, it's like, if he goes for like a flank play and starts running it, he hasn't shot anyone for, like 20, 30 seconds.
That's actually true. Like, I just don't, imagine if Ty was actually just in car 2 and just like shooting everyone that was top mid, man. Like, even if he gets shot back out, he's got so many avenues. Yeah, literally, like two kills there.
And guess what? If they drop, look who's waiting for him.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I said, you get going.
It's like a safe. Car's an extremely easy spot to milk, honestly, because of all the drop downs, all the climbs you can do, and just like different
you have
movements.
a lot of cover.
You've got so many different like avenues for escaping and just.
Which is a good point to touch on, actually. Like, playing cover, we'll do this in our next series, but using your cover wisely. You should know where you are on the map, just like you mentioned at the start of the video. You can use this. Like, you need to abuse this, or not just this in particular, but just where you are on the map. You have to always know what's around you and utilize it to your advantage.
People need more confidence in angles they're taking. Like, they need to realize what cover can allow them to, do certain other things on the map.
I think people notice like the positions of danger, but they also, you can notice that even in positions of danger, especially in front of their base, there are still objects you can use, and it's a lot of maps where there's positions of danger.
Even bottom mid, like look at bottom mid. You actually have a lot of cover. But then you have to put yourself in the enemy's shoes. Let's say, for example, you're getting shot from this guy, and he gets a couple shots on you, and you don't want to peek him. Obviously, put yourself in their shoes, and he will most likely have nades. So you have to be prepared for that as you're down here. You know what I mean? You have to kind of like account for the fact that you're going to get naded. So you just have to be super like creative with your movement, trying to jump up here, clamber up, use the shields until you get your shields back. I'm not sure if there's any good examples in this game, but I did explain it to Reaver pretty well. But whenever you're fighting someone, it's basically a big tug of war. Because if you try 1v1 me on truth, I'm going to be using these shields. And if I hit a couple shots on you and winning that battle, I know that I can back myself and keep challenging until you back down. Where if you hit a couple shots on me, I'm literally just going to wait till I'm pull shields again. And it's just that constant like tug of war. So you might be losing the battle, but you haven't lost the war. You know what I mean? So you just constantly hold your position and just multitask in a 4v4. I know we were talking about a 1v1 there, but in a 4v4 you have to multitask. You have to be worried about, all the angles, all the other threats on the map.
And believe it or not, like top mid, there are spots like that you can sit from, like. Be safe from most places, like, and if you are generally
like, use bottom mid, you have more cover. Or like something that I do is if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, meaning I have no teammates in a good position to support me, and I'm in a really like dangerous position like top mid. It's dangerous if I don't have teammates around me, but if I do have teammates, then it's really powerful. So see how it can change like that. So that's the info that you need to get. It's the awareness that you have in-game in order to be like, okay, I'm abandoning this position and I'm just going to go under their base. You know what I mean? Because even if they see me do that, they're going to be worried about me. Because if they end up dying, they know I'm in a position to run a flag. So most likely, I'm going to bring them back towards me, at least one or two, which relieves the pressure off of my spawners. So they can get to me and connect to me faster if they're coming back for me. Or they can just make me there's a million different situations, but they can just make me irrelevant and start pushing up to kill the spawners and do the exact same thing and run that flag, where I would have to keep seeking that information under here so I know that I'm relevant, you know what I mean? So if they push up, like back to my base, at least I can get mid-map control behind them and trap them on my side of the map, rather than just like sitting over here hoping and praying that my team wins a 3v4. Mikey shoots me there, I peek him. Same thing, I use that cover to my advantage just then. I hope everyone noticed that. Like, even though he had the first shot, I just tested the waters to see if I could win that battle. And luckily, I think he turned around for a slight second, which gave me the advantage, and I ended up killing him. And this is the situation I mentioned at the start. I knew this guy was here, but he's wasting my time by not peeking me. I know the timing is really unfortunate, and he ends up peeking, but I'm not going to waste my time here. So I instantly push over. And right there, I've shot 3 people. I killed Mikey, I saw this guy, and then, well, I've tracked 3 people, I should say. And then I know this guy's P2. So one guy's dead, I don't know where this guy is, but I know one guy's dead, this guy's over at car going towards our base, and I know one guy's on their P2. So because I was up shots there, I wanted to quickly push out as well of the Eli, because, well, just in case he throws a grenade, I want to quickly get over the top of that, so then if he does re-peek, then, you know, I've already landed 2 or 3 shots on him, so I'm going to get that kill, and then I'm in a position to run it. Here's something that I critiqued in the last recording, and that's the fact that, yeah, I'll play it a little bit. That's the fact that I came in this way, like I had my back for a bit too long, because I was waiting for the rechow, and this guy spawned here. That was Mikey that I first killed. He spawned here and then went car. Maybe he had info on deathcam for him to go this way, but I should be very careful. I need to keep that as like a mental note. This is why analyzing in theater, like, it gives you the answers on what you should be doing, like, to clean it up. Like, I should have used this Eli and jumped up to pink attic as I was watching my back, you know what I mean? Because then it angles off carbine and this potential spawn.
And that sort of is, yeah, and it also emphasizes how crazy small things like that can change the outcome.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
How you
Because
live
if
your life.
like, that's a sloppy play in the grand scheme of things. Meaning I could have died in that situation by not cleaning that up. But like, let's say next situation, I do utilize this, just like you said, it changes the situation, it changes the outcome, because then I won't die, or I have less possibility of dying, and I'm in control of the situation.
You don't lose your shields.
Yeah, and then I'm still in an area to grab the flag and make something happen.
Yeah. Alright.
So right here, I thrust lid to try get an angle on Mikey. Might have been a bit too overzealous because, like, I would need to practice this jump now, because what ends up happening is I fall down the lift and lift back up, and that's the guy that ends up re-peeking me at perfect timing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now I'm dead here from that sloppy movement. So you have to be super, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be super harsh on yourself and critique yourself, because just like
2 things we can talk about
here. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was actually gonna point one thing out.
This actually goes back to Mikey. When you killed him, car. One thing is, so he just respawned, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
but the one thing back at car is like he put shots on you, and he should have clearly known someone was with him on his lane as well. But he over-challenged you, and obviously you won that. But it was pretty good how you cut through the map, and then you went P side. But that guy P there, he needs to recognize that it's so weird how he re-challenged you. But like he would have seen a respawner. Like he should have seen a name tag.
Yep.
But he didn't try to work with him at all. Like he just shot you, then backed up to P. And you could have just pushed him at P again.
And like, because he was getting his shields back, so he was kind of careful and cautious about it. Which is lucky, because you did see from my perspective that I was watching that. And you do get familiar with players. Like, if he's versing me constantly in 8s, maybe he knows that if he re-peaks, I am probably going to watch it and clean him up for that mistake. If I had a nade, I would have naded it. I'm not sure if I did. But, yeah, like you said, that's a couple things that we're going to hopefully mention in this film, which is the service tags and the radar, because Mikey at the start did have a teammate with him, I think it was Pandora, and if he used his radar, he should have realized that just popping 1 or 2, maybe 3 shots into me and just leaving me enables the guy who's full shield to just sprint thrust in there, you know what I mean? And he should still work with that teammate, you shouldn't just leave him, he should be watching the other angle or go behind him and double up on the angle.
Yeah.
I want to also talk about a potential opportunity you had there, Dan, as well, which I feel like could have changed the outcome of things. Imagine instead if you, when you thrust lid actually there.
Oh yeah, to chase the car guy, yep.
Honestly, I feel like what you could have done to be just more efficient, but do the same thing you were intending to do. You could have just thrust lid, grab the flag, and then shoot him.
Yeah, very good point. I could have.
Because you had a teammate cart side as well, and if he sees you, like, I don't know what happened to him. Was it Ty?
Yeah, it might have been Ty.
Yeah, it was Ty. If he sees that, if he sees your name tag flying across their base, which I believe he would because he's facing towards their base, that he's gonna see that you're in there.
Yeah.
And he will see you approaching from their car door. I would immediately just re-challenge, expecting you to help me, get that kill, and then car side's completely free.
No, you're 100% right. Like, it's just the execution of this. This is why we're trying to go into detail with this little mistake here. It's a little mistake in terms of just thrust sliding, but it's a big mistake because, exactly like Barcode said, it'll change the outcome of this. If I execute this a little differently, and I come into it this way, and I thrust slide, grab the flag, and keep taking it this way, rather than trying to get an angle and drop under, like, even if I got that kill, then I'm not in a position. And I should still be thinking about this guy. So now I know for future reference, like, if I do shoot a guy weak into P2, I shouldn't really get under the base here, because he could probably still see me, see? Even if I drop down. So, yeah, just like a little tweak like that means that next time I play 8s or whatever, matchmaking, I know that if I shoot a guy weak into pink, like, to always be super careful of him being able to chase back down the street. So I need to angle him off, not by going under the base, but by pretty much chasing the guy that I'm already up a few shots on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're running a flag at the moment. And Barcode, I remember I mentioned this mistake. That right there, right? So you had full camo, you've had it for about 20 seconds. But there's still like a decent amount of camo left, and you just witnessed me die. So on your screen there's a big red X. So you should be looking for the enemy that killed me, or enemies that killed me. You know what I mean? Rather than trying to get a sneak run in, because the same thing that we mentioned on strongholds, like, you shouldn't really jump in a hill unless you know it's free without having numbers. And the same thing on this, you need to earn that pick and then turn it into a flag play.
Oh, yeah.
That's the efficient way, rather than you're probably trying to bait them out, but that was more of a run than it was a toss out. Because then you probably could have baited them into you.
The easiest bait would have just been to just toss it out, honestly, anywhere.
Yeah, or not even toss it out. I honestly would have just played my life with camo, knowing that they can't see me and knowing I still have a decent chunk of camo left, and just earn that pick.
I think what just caught me off guard was that guy Bubble. Like, I don't think I expected a guy there.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing I try to emphasize with camo is, like, just to be annoying as shit. Like, I like to just obviously go for like a sneaky kill, but like sometimes just being in their base, especially on Truth Flag, like just letting people know you're in the general area, just like messes with the awareness. Even though you're one down, like you'd be so surprised like how scared people become.
And in that case, they didn't know he was there, so that's what I mean. He doesn't even have to shoot. He can actually make a sneaky play and catch them on surprise and get a pick, have numbers, and run the flag. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so this guy that you said that you were unexpected. Like I said, I just died here, so you should be worried about all sides at this point since you have no information. You have to get that information yourself by looking for it. And I mentioned in the last video that you might seem, like you just said, that was unexpected, so you might seem like that's unlucky, but it's not unlucky. This guy's just simply throwing a nade to defend his flag. So you're, like, it's unlucky for you, but you can prevent that. You can't just base it on like, oh, that was unlucky, you know what I mean? I got naded. It's like, that was predicted, essentially, by him to throw a nade. Not that he knew you had camo, but he's just trying to defend his flag, so. So, right here, this is the part that I wanted to discuss as well, about overextending. Because whenever you spawn bubble, you have two options. You either wrap...
Did you actually rewind it?
Until I haven't yet, only because I want to keep the objective markers for as long as possible.
Okay, sure. Alright, sure.
But yeah, hopefully people can rewind it if they are missing the memo. But basically I spawn bubble, and I have two options, right? I can either go top card, just like, I don't know who that is, Synergy or something. Yeah, just like Synergy is. Or I can wrap back around. So Synergy's not exactly making a bad play here. Or actually, he's going all the way over to their flag. And both flags... Well, where is it? They're running our flag right here. Where is that?
It's definitely not too bad, but I think it's at the point. It's definitely, I think it's at the point where you can still wrap back, but like I wouldn't say it's the worst play you can make. But
I'd say like it's not the worst play to overextend, but overextending how far he did, and this was a perfect example of what we were mentioning before we went live. And that's the fact that you can overextend in bubble. Like whenever you hear the word overextend, please don't get confused that that means get to their flag as fast as possible. On maps like Colosseum, it can mean that more times than not, but on a map like Truth, it's a symmetrical map. Let me show. Like it's literally even. It's equal on both sides. So if our flag is down there, and Barcode just died. I'll give you another perspective. Barcode's red X is over there, meaning Synergy is connecting with a play that's already dead. He's going to be solo over there. So no matter who he shoots, he's not going to run that flag. Like, he's so far out of position, and nobody else can run that flag for him. So that's why I come back here. This is why just to clear up on that, like, he can go top mid in this situation. So then he at least is a part of the play on our flag. Like, he can either fly back into car attic or like window. He can come to here, try to shoot the guy pink, and cut this flag run off.
Backing himself off into the car 2. So if you go to the car 2 entrance, basically, he could just sit there and push his back against the red side wall and not get shot, but he's still looking towards our side of the map. If that makes sense.
Like here, is that what you mean?
No, the other side. So you see where the big entrance is to top mid?
Hugging the wall where you can see on the
that
lead.
wall to your right.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
And this is
like
one of
here
the
and there.
perfect times where you can cut the map, maybe possibly, or like get an angle to cut.
Yeah. He can just sort of.
Because he is down like what, 2? You're down 2 numbers right now.
Yeah, 2 numbers now.
And that's a
You
good
can't
point.
exactly go top middle.
Sit in this position to gain info before you just like start sprinting out here. Because if someone just walks out here or sprints out here, they're not worried about here. They're not worried about here. Like, you need to gather this info while you've got this position. So just give yourself time to scan the map with your reticle and look around. And then, you know, the flag's down here at the moment, so they're not even running it. So you have time still to, you know, get across to top mid without rushing it. There was one more thing I was going to mention, but I'm forgetting now. This flag here, like this, my situation, my perspective. So the reason why I wrap here, so rotating is the keyword for this. The reason why I rotate back is because I know that I have enough time to get behind the flag carrier. So the advantage of that is most likely the enemy expects you to overextend. So they're getting prepared to shoot these guys up here and starting to push through here to help this guy get the flag in safely and have no like standoff situation or threat. And that's why I see this advantage, because they don't really expect, not all the time, like sometimes, it depends on the timing. Sometimes they will like try and hold this. You'll see from my perspective later on in this game, I do exactly that. I'm prepared for this situation where I make sure nobody's getting that late flank. But in a situation like this where I know that I have time because the flag's right in front of me, I know that I can get into our flag. This is a risky fight, to be honest with you, because it is a 1v1. I end up coming out on top, which I'll show you. So I get that, end up getting pushed from window. Now there's 3 guys. This is the perfect situation that I just mentioned. There's 3 guys now, well, apart from this guy, but essentially 3 guys stuck in one area. So you can use, instead of overextending and being in a position like this where you can't help, well, you probably could get shots on from here, but it's just so far disconnected. This is where this top mid angle is super, super helpful, because once you get to here, they're stuck. They're completely stuck.
Yeah. You trap them in that whole area of the map, you know?
Yeah, and then you're super efficient to be able to, like, if they're 3 dead instantly, you can literally run that flag, make them spawn car, and that's a flag run. And then we just set up for that, overextend, like I said. They could rotate back, but depending on the timing, like if we're already at, you know, P1 their side, then they most likely know that they have to overextend to stop that, because they simply don't have enough time to wrap back around. But from my situation that we just had, I did have enough time, ended up getting a kill. Now they're running this P1. Synergy does end up making that play. I just want to see what happens here.
I must say, they should probably come back with the flag too, maybe.
Well, here's like a situation with Dom that I do want to cover first. I said that I was more prepared than Dom in this situation, and you'll see how. I know coming off spawn that it is possible, and I learned this from free-for-alls and stuff. What's that, Bucko?
And another player will spawn opposite bubble of you. It's such a... That little slight bend in that car wall, as you can see in front of you, literally allows for other people to spawn there. Because you don't have a sight line.
So you have to always be prepared for that. You have to, like, the more prepared you are, because he's the immediate threat in this situation. I'm not going to get killed from here. I'm not going to get killed from top mid. This is literally the only guy that can kill me. Or if there's a guy that didn't even spawn there, but he's simply pushing up the car ramp. So I'm worried about this. The only thing I could have done differently is you could jump up on this bubble and you could get an angle and then start pushing. But as you can see, like, Dom will just fly out because he wants to, for some reason, get to our flag, even though I think they're running a flag over here. I'm not sure why he's doing... Oh, because we must have their flag.
No. Their flag is actually on their base. Yeah, you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm I'm not sure what Dom is trying to do. Maybe he's trying to reconnect, look towards our base.
I'm not sure,
Could
but
be
the main point of
trying
this
to reconnect.
situation is the fact that he wasn't prepared for this, and this is just, it's very minuscule, but it does change the outcome. If you get this kill, you guys are in control, you can stop the flag. So as you can see, I'm a bit more prepared than him. I get the jump on him, gives me the kill. And this right here, so now there's 2 dead on the kill feed, make sure you pay attention to that. So
Yes.
I do play my life to get my shields, and Synergy runs straight past the flag there. I did say that was a mistake in my last recording. So 2 things here. I'm going to play it a little bit more. So Synergy's obviously on my screen, his service tag means he ran past the flag, the recov, and he's going for a pull. So you can say that I could have gone into bubble in this situation if our flag wasn't down there. Like if this return, because who else is going to go for the return in this situation? Like I kind of have to help him. I have to at least connect with him. So you'll see the route that I take, but like I said, he shouldn't run at car in this situation because 1, I'm not blocking it, and 2, we need to play for this recov. So he runs past it, meaning I have to get out of my position to get over there. So it just said flag stolen, and that's why I take this route up to window, because there's no point in me wrapping around this way and like letting him get into their base and fight this 1v1. I want to at least get to tie as fast as possible, and then pretty much cut off where he's trying to cap it, like where he's trying to go. And another little thing in this situation is the fact that I just sit here on the window, and that's because I know Ty is jumping up here now, even though he ends up failing this jump. I know he's jumping up there, so if I don't hear shooting, that means there's no battle going on over here. Like, yeah, it might be unfortunate timing, like, he comes on this side, but if I don't hear any shooting and I drop down and nobody's there, and then come back up, you know, he's most likely going to be here. But yeah, so I sit on the edge of the window just for the simple reason that this guy's running, or Ty hasn't shot anyone yet because he failed the jump, but for that main reason that I can just drop under and kill this guy. Which ends up working out perfectly for me. And that guy that I was getting shot by, Ty kills, B2, gives us the recov. And another situation here is I'm watching the flag. So once this, I know 100% this flag's getting recov, so I'm preparing for the next situation where, you know, I will start, if Ty doesn't drop in this situation, I know that I'm the flag runner. I know that I'm just, because there's 2 dead still. So I know that I have to get this flag as fast and as far as possible. But he ends up going out, like he ends up running it, which is good because it's what I want. Now all I have to do is get an angle on whoever's shooting him because there's nothing going on this side of the map anymore. The flag that Ty's running is over there, it's not at their base, so I don't need to be hanging around their base. All I need to be doing is shooting the guys that are a threat to Ty, because that's the flag, that's what's relevant.
Yep. And I feel like not a lot of people actually do this often. They don't actually, like there was this one case actually in 8, people don't tend to realize where their teammates are pulling the flag or where their teammates currently are with the flag.
Yeah, or understanding like what
yeah.
escorting is. Like,
Yeah,
you need to have that accountability on yourself. You need to take full responsibility. Excuse me, full responsibility of getting that flag into the fucking point.
yeah. Like in the last video, we were talking about how assuming things can often lead to disappointment.
Yeah.
And if you, if you're expecting someone else to do it and no one does it, that's on you. Like, why can't you do it then?
Yeah,
You know,
just
you
be
gotta-
a part of the play at least. Like your options are limited, but at least try do something that's a part of the play, a part of the objective. You know, because like I said, there's already 2 dead, so there's not much threat going on this map. So yeah, just make sure that you do everything in your power to get the flag home. Escorting doesn't always mean run with the flag guy, because if I just run out, that's why I'm staying under the base. If I just run out here, I could potentially get shot by these guys.
It just means get angles for your teammate to get safely to your flag.
Exactly, and I saw him and heard him getting shot, so I already know roughly where this guy is, and I end up getting shots on him and backing him up. Otherwise, this guy still has an angle. He wouldn't be thrusting behind this wall and still has an angle on Ty, which Ty would probably die. End up failing my jump here, and just one more thing, like, when you want to be fluent, you have to practice stuff like that, obviously in custom games, so the people who put emphasis on hitting jumps like that and just making the gameplay fluent, it just shaves seconds off the clock, like it lets you do things faster, which will hopefully result in you maintaining control. So I see that nade there, which is why I'm a bit cautious and I end up peeking this. I could have popped a nade, like make sure you pay attention to how many nades you have because you should be using them. Like I could pre-nade that. I know Voltage would yell at me right now. All I have to do is like bounce a nade up and make sure that I have the advantage by cooking his shields. But Tide dies with the flag there, so now I've got a decent angle to, even though I'm missing shots. And as you can see, that flag's about to be recub, so rather than me like, you know, risking jumping out here trying to get the touch and possibly getting shot by someone else, instead I'm just going to play patient and let that return. So I see kill over there, so instantly I get an angle on that. We kill him. I think that was 2 or 3 dead just then. And then I instantly run this flag. And again, just use your thrust like on the areas where you don't want to get shot. So I would use my thrust around here. I know Mickwin and people like that at the start of Halo 5 would then just toss it out and literally wait till they get their thrust back to get through. But it's all about timing as well. You have to feel like I know that there's basically fresh 2 dead. So it's unlikely that I'd get shot in this situation.
Also, me
As long as you
knowing
can
that.
afford not to.
Sorry, what was that called?
Oh yeah, just it was just adding on. Like sometimes you can afford not to thrust, but like obviously, yeah, it's just an awareness of numbers thing. When maybe you should wait to thrusting in places where you would get shot.
Yeah. Also, touching on what I was actually gonna do there as well. Knowing that we just got 2 or 3 dead, however many there was, I actually got to Dan, but as you can see on the radar, I went past him. But then I realized I could just get up to top mid. I think if you play it through, I actually get up to a better position. And basically, I get control of the whole map basically there, and I can shoot whoever I want to just help Dan run this flag.
Delay the flag, yeah. What was I gonna say in this situation? Something about P2 or P1, sorry. Oh, just the execution of it. Exactly what you just said, Jake. Like knowing when, like just having the awareness in game of when you should just keep running it, because like I keep saying, timing is everything. So the difference between me slowing down and then taking my time and then throwing a flag out, you'll see what happens at this point and how that second would have changed this entire play. But the execution of it is everything because, and there's a good example on Colosseum where like if you run it out window to the BR, like the sneaky area, if you just focus on your execution of that thrust and get behind the wall, you're safe at sniper. And the same thing goes here. If I get from P1, so I'm not getting shot in the back here, like this guy would probably flank. If I just get behind this wall here, I know I'm safe because I have a lot of cover. So I'm not going to commit to anything. I would literally just use my cover here. I'd be able to drop under. I'd be able to go up here. I'd be able to use this. So I have a lot more options and I'm safe. And like I said, because of the speed, it literally gives me a cap here because look how tight this cap is. I go up here, I realize nobody's pushing, I'm making sure I look at that. And that's kind of a mental note that I have with myself. If nobody's contesting yet, I know that I do have, like the thrust is poorly executed here, so it does stuff me up a little. But I know that I can cap this before anyone gets in. And look how close that was. I capped that as he pulls it. But like I said, if I slow down at P1, that's not happening. So again, there was 2 dead. The quicker I get into my base, the better, as long as you're executing it cautiously. I waited a little bit up here and then thrust it in. You see that guy, P2, he ends up dying. I'm P3 now. So camera's coming up, by the way, which is why we should be emphasizing P side. So I'm staying up here. This was a mistake right there. So I heard shooting going on and I was just 1 second delayed, and you'll see Semenk, he ends up dying because of that 1 second. You'll see on his screen that I shoot as he dies. So if I was just half a second earlier, I could have saved his life, which puts me like in a better position with a teammate pushing in to their flag with me. And like I said, I saw Barcode on my reticle as well, which means that this lane over here that Jake was referring to is clear. Unless shooting's going on, then obviously I know that there's at least one guy over here, but I know it's clear because Barcode spawned there, nothing's really happening. So then I tried to be a bit more urgent in getting over here to get an angle. And like I said, just as I started shooting Fraser, or I think that's Fraser, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Fraser.
Then Semenk dies. So once again, timing is everything. If I had that sense of urgency, like I was processing stuff up here. That's what I mentioned in the last video. what I mean by processing is I have my reticle placed a bit like this. I think it was a bit more like that, where I could see bubble. I saw Barcode spawn in our bubble, and I was watching top car at the same time I was watching their car attic, at the same time I was watching their window, at the same time I was watching under their base. And then I just took that half a second to watch bottom mid, which was just half a second too long, because I already hear shooting. I already know where the fight's going on, so I need to quickly get an angle and support these guys, because I'm in a position to do something. So once again, you have to really like critique yourself harshly and just see, like, you have to be nitpicky, like see if you can change the outcome of this situation, because I definitely could have if I was just a bit faster.
There definitely are situations in eights that I really get mad, sort of, or frustrated, sorry, at teammates when basically there's a fight going on, but they just choose to ignore it. It's so, I don't know, it's very confusing.
Yeah, it's like everyone has audio, at least I hope so. Maybe not you, Barcode, on one ear. No.
Well, but even then, dude, the tags come up yellow. That's also a thing that like I don't think people get. Like,
yeah, so
you
yellow
can see
is
your
shooting, I
teammates
think
are
that's
shooting.
orange getting shot at, or something
Shot
like that.
at,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
people just need to be more aware about that, because if your teammate's shooting at something, they're either in a fight or they're trying to get damage off on someone like further away. But like so many times, man, like I feel like some teammates just sort of ditch.
Oh, 100%. No.
Instead of re-challenging with you, like
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to do is when I'm in a fight in a 2v1, if a teammate comes to my rescue and I'm one shot, I pop immediately back out to surprise the enemy.
Yeah, which happens later on in this film too. It's a good example of that. That's why I like to show this film, because a lot of little things add up and they change the outcome, just like you mentioned before.
You could name it awareness attention, like awareness of the enemy's attention. So, like, if somebody else enters the fight, even though you're weak from that fight, you should be able to understand. Yeah, you should understand that the enemy's like attention, like an awareness of enemy's attention that you can re-pick. Like the reticule might not be on you where you left the fight; it'll be on your teammates. So you should be able to jump back out. Even like when you're one shot, there's so many times where you need to like try to develop that ability.
And again, it comes down to timing. Because of my half a second delay in this play, I wasn't really a part of the team fight. I was more of a cleanup guy. And if you start to play like that, it's going to be super frustrating. You know what I mean? Because you're just going to be getting the kills cleaning up, but it doesn't result in anything. One, because we don't have numbers. But two, you're just letting your teammates die when you definitely could have saved them. So it's having that... I think I mentioned it last video. I'm not sure, but in case I didn't, make sure you put emphasis on your teammates' lives. I literally value my teammates' lives more than my own sometimes, because I know that keeping them alive will result in making the game easier for me. Like, a million times easier. Like, I actually... Yeah, you have to value their life, so then you're a part of it. You have to really value it, so then you actually make plays and critique it like this.
It's like happy wife, happy life. It's like happy teammate. You know, it's like,
yeah, they're gonna support you if they're alive.
Easy, you know?
But it's just honestly, it just does get to me when stuff like that does happen, because it's like, dude, if my teammate shoots this guy once, that changes so much, and I don't think people realize how much one bullet can really change the outcome of fights.
Yeah, I think I won't rewind it. I really, really want to rewind it in this situation. I'll wait till after the film. And we'll go back through it just to look at little situations like this. But just as you mentioned, Jake, like, it's the awareness of where your teammates are as well, because it's not always where the enemy is, like, awareness of where the enemy is, but if you're more prepared to be in closer proximity, or just, shaving down the time it takes to peek with a teammate, then you're prepared for it. Even if you don't know where the enemy is at that time, at least you're prepared to quickly jump out when they do expose themselves. And the thing that I will talk about is the radar. Like, I can see the dots on my radar. Not at the moment. Like I said, I'll go back at the end of this film or in a different situation. But you can literally see the dots on the radar. So you can tell if they're pushing in this direction or not, if they're pushing up. And like I said, I heard shooting the whole time. And that's why this is a mistake in itself. Because there was just that half a second or second too slow to get... At the end of this film, I'll definitely run it through. And we'll look at the perspective of Cement. And you'll see what I mean. So camera's coming up. Sneaky's 3 shots into our base. I come back for him in this situation because I know nobody else is alive, right? So I've got camo, and I'm just making sure that, like, it's basically called cleaning up the map. I remember Benno taught me this. And that simply means don't let this guy be a nuisance for you. You can simply just take your time to kill this guy, and then
Yep.
you don't have to worry about what's behind you. Then you already know, like, you're tracking enemies on what's in front of you and where they're spawning. So I come up here, I don't play too aggressively. I can see synergy, I'll take the outline off just so it makes more sense what it looks like in game. I know he's pushing towards this guy to clean him up. Also right here, Semenk is in front of me. So instead of me doubling up on one of their, well, on Semenk's angle here, I'm not even going to push in. I'm literally just going to see if that guy jumps up here, or whether he came front base and dropped under. And as you see, they end up cleaning him up.
Yeah. That way you don't waste your time as well, or like your thrust trying to do specific things.
Yeah.
As well.
And here's another
It's just more
point.
efficient.
This is going to be much more fluent when we play it through, but because I know I'm pausing a lot, hopefully it's fluent enough to make sense. But now that guy's cleaned up, like I said, at our base. I'm a bit camera locked here. What's going on? Oh, it's because I'm crouched. So that guy's cleaned up at our base, so now I progress to P3, and that's because Barcode was alive at their base at that current point in time, and now he's dead. So now he's dead, I'm no longer trying to get to him as fast as possible. Now I know that my situation is that I have to hold this position, because once again, look at my radar. They're over on this side of the map, like, still at our base, so that they don't have any help for me over at this side, over at pink. And like you said before, Jake, the lanes. So I'm locking them in their lane. And I'm top mid right now. That's something I want to mention actually, the map control thing. Maybe you can expand on it, Jake. Like, you said it last time really well. So this is our side. This is defense, obviously. But you can literally lock down this side of the map if you're on the back foot. But if you're on the front foot, like I had camo and we just got a pick, I'm going to get mid-map control because then I'm going to contain them in that spot. And if they are scared to move, or if they're getting pressured to move, once again, we're only 1 or 2 kills away from running a flag. Where if I played passive in this situation and for some reason just sat here because I'm scared, then I'm just letting them get to pink for free. I'm letting them literally sprint thrust slide up here and get to pink for free, and then we're on the back foot. Then we're 1 or 2 deaths away from possibly getting pulled and capped on. So that's just a little thing. It's like defense, get map control, earn your pick, and you'll see in this play like how disciplined I play. Earn your pick, and then go for the flag. So note that the time on this game is 9:38 at the moment when I pretty much got up here. So I'm just crouching at the moment, just using my camo. Once again, the reason I'm playing so slow is because of the fact that I have no help over here and Barcode just died at their flag. So all I'm doing is holding mid-map control and stalling until I have support. So the longer I contain them in their base, the better. So that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to shoot, as you see. Because Barcode died, I'm expecting one of them to peek out weak. That's why I'm watching this right here, because sometimes people will just be like, oh, I got a kill, I'm just going to come out here. And if they're 1 shot or 2 shots, that could earn me a pick.
One thing I want to say is, like, so you're in a position of power, so where Dan is right now.
Yeah.
What you're actually doing is minimalizing the power of angles. Because obviously, you've already got your reticle placement on their side of the map, so if they do poke out, you're already shot up. So you're actually weakening what they can gather for information, which is obviously peeking out.
That's very true, yeah. They can't even give callouts to their team if I back them up into their base.
And if they do and they over-challenge, well, now they have to go back and hide and get the shields and try be useful another way.
Exactly, and that's what I meant by containing. You're just holding them in one small area, one small spot, and letting your team have free reign of the map because of the pressure that you're putting on. So if I didn't have camo in this situation, I might still be P3. I would just be super, super cautious because obviously I can be seen about backing down as soon as they get shot, because you don't want to battle till death in a spot like this. You want to milk for as long as possible. So
yeah, you want to create danger for the other team. It's like your main goal in a position of power is to not die and just create danger for the enemy team.
Yeah, and it's the difference between playing fast and slow. Like, you can play fast in this situation when it presents itself, and in a situation like this where I don't have help, I need to play slow until I do have help. And yeah, so if I did have help in this situation, and there's a guy here that's weak, I would literally fly at that guy.
Yeah. Wait, so what you're saying is you're just trying to, like, you gotta wait and understand the amount of tempo you can, like, play
Yes,
at.
that's exactly a perfect word for it, tempo. It's like it's a checkpoint on the map. So first checkpoint is like, okay, we've locked down our base, we're free. I haven't seen anyone yet. I'm gonna get to pink 3 or sometimes pink 2. But I'll get to pink 3, and this is another checkpoint where you give yourself time to analyze what's going on. Like, I know my teammates aren't there. Once again, The radar tells me that. Service tags tell me that if I wanted to look. But I don't have any support over on the pink side whatsoever. So that's where the checkpoint comes into play, where I'm literally just going to stall and milk my life. And like I said a while back, the clock is 9:38, right? Or it was 9:39 just as I got up here. So, oh, actually one more thing, reticle placement. So right here, you can see I'm trying to clean up Barcode's kill, just in case that situation presents itself where a guy peeks and I can quickly get that 1 or 2 shots in and clean him up. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for the enemy, he doesn't peek at all. He ends up staying in their base for quite a while and getting his shields back. Which means I'm not watching car side because of where my reticle is. So you'll see me micro adjust my reticle after a few seconds. As you can see, I'm watching, waiting for the push. I can see carbine now, like their car cuts, but I'm still not watching their bubble and this cross right here. I still can't see this. So you'll see right there, I readjust because I haven't watched it in so long, but now it's too far adjusted. Now I'm not watching this. What if a guy peeked out here? Not that he can see me, but like, just what if, you know what I mean? Like, I should be prepared for that. So the reason I look so far over is because it was 9:38, I think, when I was up here. And it took 6 seconds for me to readjust. And because it took 6 seconds, that's why I went wide. So then I can see the bubble over here. And there is a guy in our bubble. I don't know if he crossed. But so I can see this area, as you can see. So then
I think I can
place it
understand your
perfectly.
mentality though. I can understand your mentality. Obviously, you heard shots from the guy on the bubble or some type of enemy presence, so that's why you're looking over there.
Yeah, well, it's
See
also
if
the fact
anyone
that
will
I know that I
reconnect.
wasn't watching top car, like right there, as you
Yeah,
can see in the
yeah.
screen. This is the most perfect reticle placement that you can get, really, because you can see
Yeah.
absolutely everything. This is where it should have been the whole time, like I said, but I was trying to be prepared for the peak here, so I could have my reticle like already in the area, in the vicinity. But yeah, like I said, by not watching
Ridicule of
that,
information. There's like a ridicule of damage, so you'd be watching pink, but you're obviously looking for information. This is like a ridicule of information.
yeah,
You can see so
definitely.
much. Yeah.
Also, one issue I've got with this actually is I'm not quite sure what Fraser was doing in the base for so long though.
He was just getting his shields back, but
Yes.
yeah, he didn't peek at
Was he
all.
weak?
Didn't
Was
get.
he?
Well, yeah, he was the guy that killed you, so I'd assume he's weak.
Oh no, I actually don't know. So I traded with Dom, and then he came in and cleaned me up, I believe.
Okay, we'll have to
So,
run it back afterwards.
Yeah, because I'm really confused because like if he didn't lose any shields at all, he's just been
Yeah,
moving
he
around in
hasn't
his
done
base for the
anything, he
past
hasn't
10
peeked,
seconds.
he hasn't got any info
Honestly,
for 10 seconds.
I think I know what it's. I think this is what it goes back to what I mentioned before. Is like his awareness of camo. He knows you have camo, and he knows you're still alive with camo. So this is what I'm talking about. Is just that paranoia of just having camo in general,
But then
Yeah.
like
to
asserting your presence.
critique that then, right? Let's say I do have camo and he knows that. Instead of like being slow and letting the camo guy
Yeah.
push up, he should be
Yeah.
the one locking down the angle and just having camo eyes, you know what I mean? Just
Oh,
being,
definitely, 100%.
because like
Because
yeah,
like
you
he's
want
just
the camo guy
sort
to
of
be pushed back.
searching around in his base, doing like nothing for his team. You know, like
Oh, what?
maybe yeah, if Camo was there, maybe it'd make a difference. But like he's been way too scared, honestly.
He's being too scared, and one, he's not watching a main thing. He's obviously just scanning. But like, what
Yeah.
And it has been 10
Tox-
seconds, remember?
Yeah.
Almost
10
What did-
seconds.
What
Look,
did
I'm
Toxic
still up here.
used to do? They used to just watch over each other, and when people had camo,
But
or at least roll together. Where it's
Un-
like it's so dangerous to be by yourself and not watch something
There's
entirely
also
as well.
just like another thing there as well. Look,
Yeah.
Dom already comes off spawn and he's already past Fraser. Like if you play it through, he will be
Yeah.
flying past Fraser, already getting more like map control for
Yeah,
his
because
team.
Fraser's
Yeah.
like doubling up to get back into the base rather than coming out pink. And just like
And
you
it's
said, like
just-
he's kind of doubling up on Dom's angle now, because let's go to Fraser's point of view so I can give you the example. On radar, he's got 2 people, you know? He knows 2 people are above him. So rather than getting the same angle as these guys and then getting behind them and essentially baiting them, come out
through tunnel.
and do like peak the same angle at roughly
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're up before spawners, you should definitely. What your goal should be is to create room for your teammates to like.
A
see-
lot of people don't understand
Yeah,
that, Jake, and it's so
this is-
unbearable.
To be honest, that's one thing that was like my personal pet peeve that I hated.
Yep.
Like I hated more than anything else in the world. And I hate a few things, but like that is still with
What was
Halo
it?
in
Can you
general.
say it
It's just
again?
so annoying.
In
It's
A,
like
it's just very like so unfortunate coming off spawn and just seeing a teammate next to you that's been alive for the whole time, you know, and it's just sort of like, man,
Oh yeah, just wasting time.
I
you're just
understand
doing
being the second spawner and maybe getting ahead of your teammate because you might be weak. But if you're the third or fourth spawner and you're getting more room or creating more space than your teammates before you, it just
Doing
kind of
something
makes
wrong.
absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously not asserting your presence, and you're not actually thinking about your teammates who are about to spawn. Like
You're gonna put them in a shit situation, man. Even like
you are.
Yeah, especially in strongholds. You know, you're getting triple tapped.
Anything.
You're hiding.
Yeah.
You're hiding in like bunker or something on the rig, and your teammates have to push past you, and you're just essentially baiting them. You know, letting them get killed. And I don't know. That's just one thing that always annoys me.
And you should try discuss the mentality barcode. I don't know if you can, but on the damage output. So just wasting time like this means that you don't have one, you're not seeking information, so you don't even know where the enemy is. But two,
You're not shooting people.
yeah, you're not shooting people.
You're literally doing nothing for your team. Like that's.
You're letting the
why
enemy
it's so
team
unbearable.
get closer to this area without preventing them.
Go into your base. Go into any base. Like bring the camera view into a base.
What base?
Like any base, and then like look kind of pink side. You know how people like are at the back of the base but looking pink side?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little bit behind the hump though, behind that hump in the base. See that hump?
Yeah. Next to the.
Yeah. See, some people like sit there and watch pink side. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but a more aggressive would be to be at the hump of the pink door,
Of the
where you
door,
can see
yeah.
camo. Like that's just so much more aggressive.
because you can
Doing,
stop
like,
the P1 push as well.
Well,
Yeah.
also that hump sort of like is that not the P1, but the one back there is sort of stupid if like
It is.
have no
yeah.
presence on the other side of the map or top mid. Like if you look top mid or car side, I'm sure you will be able to get shot.
That's true.
These can be banked on you way easier, and it's like you don't have. See, if you're at the pink door on the hump where you can see camo and pink P2, kind of where people peek, like that hump is you got more to back up to if you have to. Whereas if you're at that back hump, you actually can't really back up anymore besides drop.
You've actually
And
got
now you've got worse
routes.
angle.
You've got 3 routes on that P door. You got going up into your attic, dropping down to the base, or going back into your base, depending on where the enemy is.
And I think that's a good point. It's well, we used to call it turtling, right? Where people literally keep backing up because they're scared, and it gets to a point where 4 people are all stuck, like in one little confined area.
And they just get shit on.
Yeah, because the enemy team has full reign of the map. They have all the angles because you've given them the opportunity to have all the angles, and they will utilize it.
Yeah, that's like the overarching issue with not giving your teammates enough room when they come off spawn, or not doing shit on the map.
Yeah, and that's why we're trying to,
is missing.
especially with this series, we're trying to get people to play fundamentally correctly. So people that do take the initiative to create space on the map just by, Jake, you mentioned it well, like you can hold an angle and literally lock down this side of the map. You don't necessarily have to push. You're just like preventing them from pushing. That's the point. And then you give your teammates space and room to actually make a play. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you do shoot a guy into P weak. You know, a teammate could make a play on that guy if the opportunity's there. Like, it's not always going to be there, but...
Yeah, we don't necessarily mean, like, to get room for your teammates, we don't necessarily mean fucking fly out to the enemy side of the fucking map. I mean, it's possible if you know, like you're uncontested or anything. But
that's for
like,
another series.
What? Yeah. What the main issue here is that, hang on, let me just sort of compose it all into like one. The main issue here is Fraser is literally he hasn't moved from his base. He's just trapped him and his team inside his base.
You want to minimize backpedaling. Like backtracking. You want to minimize that as much, especially in objectives.
You only backpedal, like you only backtrack when you get shot and overwhelmed, you know? So then you basically concede. Let's say if I have a teammate pink 2 and I don't have camo here pink 3 and we both shoot Fraser and he backs up. That's fine because he's getting overwhelmed. You know, you concede to
he's living.
Yeah, you just like concede, you back up. But
he was full shields that
nothing
entire
was happening.
time.
Yeah, as you can see from my point of view, I'm literally waiting and nothing's happening. which gives my team time, which they still haven't pushed. They're still focused on this car bubble guy, so I'm not sure what's going on here. They can literally just leave this guy and make him irrelevant. Like, Ty right here can literally soar top mid, so you should be focused on what I'm doing, like what's going on over here.
Reconnecting with you.
Yeah, which you end up doing straight away off spawn, because you recognize that either on death cam or, like we have a camo guy here, we can set up a play. I'll run it through. So, wait, this is the situation that exactly I was waiting for. So both these guys peak at the same time. Ready? So they're both peaking. So now I have a decision to make. Who am I going to shoot? So I'm not going to like instantly start shooting. So yeah, do you want to talk about the radar barcode? I know I've gone over it a million times.
Well, he can obviously see me. I'm I'm closing in on his location, and basically he's gonna maybe want to try shoot whoever I shoot first. So he's just gonna wait to see who I'm shooting. He's got camo. The enemy team doesn't know he's up there. So basically, it's up to me to start the battle off, essentially.
Yeah. Well, you don't always have to start it. Like I just need to know. So this is where I want to make sure that people are playing correctly, because it's not about comms. Everyone's complaining like, that comms is the reason that people aren't coordinated and doing the right thing. We didn't have communication this night. We weren't talking or anything. This is literally just us playing naturally, right? So playing with the information that we're given in game. So the information that I'm given in this game is my radar. And obviously service tags, like I mentioned, but my radar is telling me that barcode's connecting to this play. And yeah, as I was mentioning before, like you don't need to communicate to get things done. All you have to do is utilize your radar and make sure you team the same thing. Make sure you look at a teammate and focus on the same thing. I'm going to try to give another example. Like, let's say I'm here and I see a guy P2, like a teammate P2. That means I know he's going to, like, put yourself in his shoes. He's going to be shooting guys that are either top mid or guys that are here. So if I'm behind him in this play, I need to know that I need to get to him quickly, so then I'm a part of, any threat to him, and get to him quickly and get a different angle, or the same angle, depends, to be of assist, like, to the guy he's shooting. So, to just clear that point up, it's just about knowing who's in front of you. If you can see a teammate in front of you, think about what he's going to be shooting, so you know how to position yourself and be effective. I hope that makes sense. I really do. Because that's all it is. Like, recognize where your teammates are, connect with the play. I know you said on a Strongholds rig game or something, you had 2 people elbow and just getting a third angle. I hope that we cover more games that has situations like that, because this isn't a very good example. I'm kind of just making it up. But it's the same rule applies. If you have 2 teammates in one area, get the third angle. Like, learn how to be creative. You don't always have to flank. Like, don't triple stack on their angle unless they're both one hit and it looks like they're about to get pushed and cleaned up. So that's where you're kind of a reinforcement. Otherwise, yeah, get a third angle and be of use to the 2 people. Like, you already know what direction he's heading in and what he's going to be shooting. So if you know how to read that, you'll know how to set up your next play. So yeah, as I said, 2 people peek at the same time. Like Barco said, I've got him on my radar right here. I don't know who it is. I just know I've got someone on my radar. So if it was communication, he could be like, Dan, I'm pushing P2. So I already know what that means. That means like I need to shoot something that's relevant to him. But no comms. So the reason I popped a shot there is because he started shooting Barcode and I was like, fuck, I need to at least like help Barcode. I was going for a beat down there, so I didn't get seen with camo. So Barcode re-peaks right there, like he peaks for me.
Exactly, I challenge for you. That's exactly what I was talking about before, like how people should just be baiting and switching.
Yeah, and this is a perfect situation of bait and switch, because as soon as I hear shooting, I know that this guy, let's have a look at him, who is it? Fraser is looking at Barcode. Like that's his, that's what his attention is on. So I know that I could possibly get away with peeking here, even though, look at my shields, look how weak I am. Even though I'm weak, we still end up winning that fight. And now there's 3 dead, because, I beat down the guy that was here, and then we killed that guy, and then Synergy got a 5 shot kill on the other side of the map. So there's 3 dead. Barcode's literally going to sprint ahead of me as I'm 1 hit, and I've got camo. End up cleaning Snaky. That was something I should have pointed out before. Like, I was tracking that guy at the same time when I made this decision. So I saw that guy coming out front base to bottom mid, and I saw the other guy come here, but I knew that I had to work with Barcode, so it's not 2 separate 1v1s. I knew that I had to like focus my attention and focus our numbers on just a quick win, and then focus on the next enemy. So I was tracking that guy the whole time, meaning I know which direction he's going in, and I know what his options are when he's down here. So he's most likely going to jump top mid, or like I said, his other option is just holding bottom mid. Especially like with the amount of time it took to kill both those guys, like he can't really go far. So as soon as I'm done killing that guy, I look top mid and get that cleanup, which that means there's 4 dead right now, because I was a part of 3 engagements just then, and Synergy got a perfect kill on the other side of the map, which the kill feed told us. So I've still got camo, so I don't want to be the one running the flag here, which is why I go up here. And I'm still 1 hit, so I'm still progressively moving up on the map and getting closer, so I can help Barcode with any threats that spawn. But yeah, I want to make sure that even though I know there's 4 dead, like, it's just a habit where you want to angle yourself off the whole time that you're progressing on the map. Like, the whole time you're pushing up, you're still safe, like, you've still got shields. So then when you are full shield, you're already super close to... Because, like, maybe someone else would be like, oh, I'm 1 hit. Even though they don't recognize that there's 4 dead, or maybe there's only 2 dead, they'll literally just sit here and wait. And it's like, you've already got a teammate, he's your shields. Like, use him as your shields. So, yeah, just go behind him and set up a play. So Barcode's going to run the flag because there was 4 dead. The reason I drop here is just to make sure that nobody's spawning under the base, so Barcode can run that freely. And as soon as I realize nobody's there and they're 100% spawning car, because I saw that nade as well, I jump back over to get the angle. This is what I was referring to earlier in the video, which was I'm watching his wrap. Just like I wrapped that one time, I'm watching his rotate. So anyone on their team that's rotating back to get the angle. Let's see what happens. So nobody's coming. I throw a nade just so if I get any tags, I know, I kind of have to hold the angle and come back. But this right there. So I know Barcode is up here now. So I want to get in front of him to cut off this side of the map, this lane that Jake was talking about. Like, I know we said pink lane, top mid lane, and then car lane, but think about the map this way as well.
Yeah.
So
this is exactly what we mean by escorting as well. You don't have to be holding the flag carrier's pocket.
Yeah, and try get ahead of the flag carrier. So, like, the enemy can see where the flag carrier is, but they don't know where you are. So if you're first to get here, you can pressure them, where if you're behind the flag carrier, they are already prepared to shoot him. And the flag carrier isn't really going to shoot. The flag carrier is trying to run as fast as he can, especially if he has help. So I get in front of him, I lock down this angle. I see this guy car. So right here, here's where it gets technical, or a little bit technical, I should say. Once I know Barcode is safe, running it through this section, right? I know that the next section I need to be worried about is over here. Okay, like this side of this lane.
Yep,
but because of the fact that I see Snaky here, I end up taking a bit to kill him. So miss a couple shots there, end up killing him. And now it's all about, like, alright, I explained it in the last video, I need to try word it the same way. This whole time, my job, like my duty in this position, is to escort Barcode. Okay? So I don't just give up after shooting this guy and get distracted. I know that I still need to be connected with him. So Barcode's a super fast player mechanically, right? So he's already here by the time I'm finished with that kill. So I need to have a sense of urgency knowing that that was my job the whole time, and he could probably be in a battle by this time. So instantly, I use my mechanics to get over there. Barcode ends up winning that battle, which is huge. And then he gets a beatdown on that guy. I just run in for the beatdown here, which causes me a death. I should have just shot him.
Yeah, shot him once, beat down, and you would have killed him.
Yeah, 100%. I thought like the other guy shooting him in the back would have been enough. But yeah, that's just lazy. I should have been shooting the whole time, and I didn't even have to...
You're assuming that your teammate's shooting him like more.
Yeah, more than what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one more thing. The reason I did go for the beatdown rather than just sitting back and shooting is even if I didn't get the kill, hopefully, well, the whole point of me getting close was to get the grab, to get the touch. Because if I reset the timer on that touch, at least Alex Semenk would have got that kill and then finished off that cap. Which at this point, like I said, little details like that, if you put emphasis on, we're up 2-0 now. We've won 2/3 of the game and they have 9 minutes. I know it seems like a long time, but they have 9 minutes to not make a single mistake, so then we don't cap another flag, but also they have to cap 2 flags to tie it and have overtime or whatever, or 3 flags to win. So we've put a lot of pressure on them just from a couple good plays so far. Anything that you've seen, Jake, that you want to point out?
Oh no, you pretty much touched up on it. I can see why, like your mindset of like what you did though, but like
Yeah, trying
it's
to
not a
get
big
close.
thing.
Yeah, I still should have
Yeah.
shot. That's the only like minor thing. But yeah, the main part of that play that I wanted to get across was the fact that I was P3. I waited for the opportunity, aka I waited for Barcode to get close. We double teamed a guy. We double teamed the second guy. I tracked the third guy from the start, cleaned him up for a triple kill. Barcode started running the flag. I stayed alive with camo, dropped
Yep.
under, watched his wrap, like his what do you call it? His rotate, and then
Yep.
it's all about the overextensions, right? So I try get ahead of him to see how many people and where they're going with the overextension, whether they're going top mid to cut us off or whether they're just going like far and long and trying to get into our base. I kill a guy, Snaky over here, and then I quickly connect to that run because I know escorting. You have to come back with the flag. Nothing's going on this side of the map. Like we already have their flag.
You can say reconnect, but to be honest, you're still that
Yeah, I was
addictive. You're
connected the
still
whole time.
connected like
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah, but you did so many other jobs. It's still watching angles. Like we just need to pull. Yeah.
It's also like I think what was going through your head is okay. So I killed that one guy that was just on their like front base, Snaky. You're like, okay, so where the hell is the rest of the team gonna be? Like you use your knowledge and you're like, oh shit, they're probably gonna be overextending to our side. So I really need to just
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole
back to
point of
our
me getting
base.
that angle, like I said, so I can read how many people are crossing over.
Yep.
Because if I do see like 3 people going far this way, I know that, I have to come back fast, just like I did. Just even though I didn't see anyone, it's just about doing it, just because you know what has to be done. Like I know that the flag has to go in the hole, and the only thing that's going to prevent that is the enemy team contesting in this area on this side of the map. So instead of me just sitting pink 2, pink 3, and not being able to fly in and help, I've actually got an angle that can be of use, to that flag.
Mhm.
You have to be close. You have to be like a sense of insurance to the flag carrier. You have to be ready to relay that shit.
Run it
Dang, I need to
through.
be. I've seen a few things, but we'll go back
Yeah.
after we're done this. I wish I
few
had been.
unbearable things.
I wouldn't say unbearable. No.
A few wimpy things.
Yeah, wimpy
Hashtag
things.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I spawn up, he gets the first 2 shots, luckily he misses every shot.
That's a
Well,
pretty
not every
bullshit
shot, but
spawn, by the way.
end up getting the kill. Pay attention to the kill feed, it's 3v3 right now. Now it's 3v2, we have numbers. I instantly look cross map, there's no point me looking over here, I should be angling myself up. We'll see, yep, kinda a little bit, there we go. Angle myself off from this side, and obviously you can get naded and shit, but you just gotta be ready for that. And I'm looking across to see if, these guys are getting shot, if they're getting collapsed on, at least I can shoot. The same thing that I explained at the start of the game. You can get cross-map angles while you're doing something, as you're pushing your own lane out. So be of use to your teammates. Everything in this game is a 4v4. That's what HCS, like, competitive Halo is. It's a 4v4. So there's a million situations that you can be in, but the winner will always be the team who are coordinated enough, whether it's communication or not. That's what you want to get to, that point of like splice level where they don't even need a call out in like a huge tournament, and they just simply like know how to support their teammates, how to be a part of their play and how to shoot, how to get angles.
That's what I mean when I hear people say, "Oh, communication this, communication that." Like communication should not stop you from looking at the right places.
It's only the cherry on top of the cake. Like there's so many other layers to
There
the
really
cake,
is, yeah.
or so of the game. Like, yeah, don't resort to that as an excuse.
Yeah. Honestly, you got your teammates tags as we've mentioned like 10 million times, and
This
your
is a
radar.
perfect example. Sorry to cut you off, but let's just the communication point. Like, so I don't have comms in this game, so I instantly look across just fundamentally. I just naturally look across,
yeah.
right? But let's say, so I don't have communication that there's anyone P1, but let's say there was a guy P1 and I'm looking across and I don't see him. I might look away, but that's fine. At least I did my job of trying to look, trying to see.
Yeah.
Where if
But
synergy
if you
was,
had the comp.
yeah, if I did have the comms, then I would make sure I keep looking at the angle, knowing 100% certain that there is a guy there and I can get an angle on him. So yeah, once again, keep paying attention to the radar. Like you honestly have to bear that in mind all game, because whenever you do have help, it changes your decision making. Like, I know that I have help in this situation, so we can shoot the same thing. So there's a nade that comes in here, which only means one thing. Well, it could get naded from car attic and bounce there, but I know that there's a guy top mid.
Yeah, because
Getting
teammates
shot
are
at.
also fighting.
I throw a nade as I'm shooting, trying to get an angle. So even if that nade doesn't kill him, I'm still like progressively pushing, so then I can clean him up if I have
Just
to.
constantly applying pressure to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're on my radar here, you end up supporting me with that guy. You see me on radar, we'll go back and discuss that. Which means he knows.
I automatically had it in my brain that you were going to block that for me instead of just push it.
Yeah, but rather than assuming, how did you know for a fact that I wasn't
With
pushing
the
it?
radar as well, because I noticed as I was pushing inside, you stayed there.
Yeah, there's no dot that's coming close. Again, I mentioned this in the last video, so I'll just cover it quickly on this video. If the radar, like let's see barcode, if I'm a little dot rather than that extended rectangle on the outskirts of his radar, if I was a dot, obviously I'm close, which means don't run back to car bubble, because that's completely open at this point. That means we just need to force a 2v1 or whatever,
To
a 2v
side.
whatever, yeah, on P side. But because of the fact that I am I am a rectangle, I mean, he knows that I'm far away and that the plan is to, like the play in this situation is to run at car.
And no communication whatsoever.
Yep, no communication, and this is a fast, efficient run. You quickly get in there, and oh yeah,
But also see your tag on the edge of the screen, by the way, as well. So if you go on my POV and go first person, like I'll still have your tag. But now I'm facing you, so.
Yeah, yep.
But,
So I played this a bit too quick, but instead of me coming car bubble, right, and blocking this whole angle off for a second as I get to this point, I use the front of car, so I'm looking the whole time, right? And then I get this far angle out here. And the reason is, if anyone's shooting barcode at this point, at least I'm in a position, like I'm available to help instantly. And like I've been saying, it's all about shaving time off the clock in terms of being able to react and help a teammate. Because it is like a half a second thing, or it comes down to milliseconds sometimes, one shot difference, where if you're not a part of that fight, your teammate will die, and this is a dead play.
And it also comes down to just being efficient. Why do one job when you can do multiple at the same time?
Yep, you're not wrong.
Like you said, you're just going to be blocking it if you're sitting on that hump. But here, if you sit on that like open area of the bubble, you're blocking it.
Yeah,
and you're
I'm
looking
focused on applying damage at the same time.
So
he ends up running it, and he's a bit faster than me in this situation. So he's going to be ahead of me before I can watch his cross. And the reason I go front base here is because they're running a flag, as you can see on our pink side. So I'm the only one on this side of the map. So even if I escort barcode, so he's already got a teammate here, which my radar tells me. He's already got a teammate over at Carbine, so there's no point me triple stacking this angle and all focused on like one area. Then we're confined. Then they've got full map control, and we're literally stuck in one spot. So, and that will be our real estate, just one little area. So instead of that, I know that I have to cut this flag guy off and make like a good sneaky play without getting shot. So that's why I slowly like stay around here. And if you check my radar, there's a red dot. That's because Fraser's trying to do that wrapping, rotating thing that I mentioned.
To shoot me in the back.
Yeah, and because he shows himself on radar, now I can literally just, play it slow and get a free pick here. So as you can see, I did get shot, which kind of makes me have to push in a bit. And I put my thrust to try get behind Fraser as much as possible. So like a 180-degree angle at least. So then he has to turn right around.
Fully turn around. Yeah.
Good thrust.
Yeah, good thrust.
Because that's like a small thing, right? But like, man, it's so crazy how thumbstick works on your controllers. Like if this was mouse and keyboard, he would just be able to swipe to you. But controller, you've got this disadvantage of trying to do 180s, depending on your sensitivity.
You can make a video alone, dude, on thrusting business.
Yeah,
honestly, video alone, just on thrust.
Like individual skill type things. Like I know we're talking about grand scheme 4v4 type things for all skill levels. As long as you're focused on the objective, you're gonna at least be helpful to your team in winning the game. And that's what we're trying to get ANZ to. And then it's up to you for your individual skill, which we're going to touch on in another series, on what you can do to be better mechanically and just skill-wise, helping you win more battles, be unpredictable, etc. But yeah, so I was getting shot in the back, which forces me to get behind him. Luckily, I get the kill, I get it perfect, and at the same time, I know that my play this entire time was to hold the base.
Intercept and
stop the flag, because that's where he's trying to get to, right? So, I end up coming here. It's 3v3 as you can see on the kill feed. Now, just to touch on what I was saying before, this was our real estate if I triple stack this angle, but now look at our real estate. We've got car, we've pretty much got our base control, and now we've got this their base control because of my decision to like I was furthest pushed up, so I knew I had to take responsibility to. I don't have to stop this flag necessarily, meaning I don't have to kill him
Just
and
need to
try
delay
hot free.
them.
Yeah, I just need to stall them. I need to contain them, just like we mentioned earlier, in this area. Because then they've only got a quarter of the map. They don't have like 3/4 as we would have given them if I triple stack this angle. Now they've
You
only
guys
got
have
this little area.
75%. You have 75% of the map pretty much right now.
Yep, and like imagine how much pressure that feels like you're getting on the other team. Like if you're the enemy team, how much
Also,
pressure?
to we're up and we pulled the flag to our side already.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
wanted
we've
to
given
bring
them
that up
like no
as well.
room on the map, and they are literally stuck here if they stay here. But you'll see what happens. Dom ends up running into me, even though he should have seen Fraser die over at his car. He should be super careful about using his thrust here, because you'll see he uses his thrust, which gives me the kill.
Yep,
I know I can
easy
hop
5-shot. So like once someone uses their thrust, it's over. Like
And boom, victory. So yeah, like I was a part of all the flag runs that game, and if everyone had that responsibility and accountability for themselves, you're going to be extremely valuable, you know, to the team. You're going to win more games than you lose. Especially objectively. Like if you have that focus, that's why we're going over strongholds and CTF, because it's like 7 out of like the 12 or 13 game types. So if you get good objectively, you know, it's gonna be a good time, man, in ANZ AIDS. Rather than just like a crazy slugfest where plays like that don't happen, where we literally just have to keep slaying and slaying and slaying, and then you finally run a flag, and guess what? Nobody knows how to escort the flag guy back. So hopefully this video like
I'm
covers
having Collie
how to
flashbacks.
run, yeah, how to like actually get into the base, cap a flag, because yeah, you can play slow. Don't give away a dumb death in a situation like this when I was P3. Don't just force something. Like just let things happen and then make a decision on how you think you're going to win this situation. As I mentioned, HCS competitive is 4v4. So you're going to be in thousands of different situations. So you have to read the situation at hand and make the best play possible to like pretty much judge how your team's going to come out on top of that situation. Did you guys want to run it back and talk about anything in particular?
100%. Run it back. Run it all the way back.
Is there any spot that you want me to go to?
We finished talking about the Mikey part and Pandora. I don't know if
Where
we
was
should.
that at? At the
It
start?
was your first fight, your first proper fight. After they go top metal and then they push your car without your knowledge.
Yeah, so he's not looking at
There
me.
you go.
I got the free kill on Mikey.
I think I see. I see.
I knew Dom was up there, obviously, because I shot him and like tried to nade him. So I know he's around here.
We just talked about thrust like a minute ago. I don't think Mikey had his thrust in that situation. I think he might have wasted it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have wasted it. Even then, just
Or else he would have thrusted away, you know.
yeah. Otherwise he would have thrusted away. Exactly. So I think he was in the position where he was forced to over challenge.
Yeah. So he just thrusted just to get that lunge. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's a panic thrust. Like everyone's done it. Like you get shot straight away, you panic thrust, and you don't actually know where you're going to thrust to. You just thrust in the direction your guy is moving.
And what that comes down to is your awareness on where you are on the map. Like it's just a little adjustment of taking a couple steps and thrusting back and angling me off. Like knowing that this is gonna block my angle.
So just like talking about pink, obviously you're not in you're in a position of power, but you have to do a quick scan and understand where you're getting shot from and what's the best place to thrust to. That's one thing to talk about. So yeah, after he was getting shot, he could have stepped out 2 steps and then thrusted into like behind the wall on your car.
Could you go to 940, 945? Like around there. That's like the camo play, right? And this is when we were talking about Fraser. Okay, so just keep going forward.
Wait, just now that I can go back, I want to actually look at this.
Oh,
no, this is where I was a bit too late. I need to go back a bit more.
This way he's coming in. Kills him.
Yeah, Tom dies, and this is where I take too long, alrighty? So I'm at 10 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm up here. So, how much time is realistic to stay up here? Like this processing thing that I'm talking about. Processing just means I'm seeking information. Look at my reticle placement. I can see top car, I can see their bubble, I can see our bubble, car attic, window.
The context of now or context in general being P3?
Now, like my situation. Like how long is too long to process? Like
I feel as if as soon as you see your teammates
probably at least like 5 seconds after even knowing so that's too long. like
Yeah.
within maybe 2 or 3 seconds.
Yep, and then look at this battle.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah,
you've
yeah,
you've
yeah.
you've obviously heard shooting for at least like
Yep,
a
let's
good.
play it through and you'll hear. Oops, I gotta go back once more. Fucking hell. So yeah, I hear shooting this whole time. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not doing anything. And that was like
Yeah,
2-3
nothing.
seconds right there. Like, let's watch that from some Minx Pov. I want you to see my shot. Ready?
Yeah, look at everyone's
Right there,
POV.
and he's
on
dead.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say even rewind. Even after their death, I
Exactly.
would like to see how he got there in the first place. Maybe we can talk about that.
For
Okay.
some ink.
Yeah, because even then he is obviously quite deep, but I think he's trying to make some room for camo. Obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
Camo's coming up.
He is. Yep. Yeah. He
Gets
is.
one.
See? And he made the right play. He's doing everything fine. Maybe he could have used cover a bit better and like played a bit more
He did hug
passive.
that pocket, but obviously after
At
he
the end
went
there,
back
yeah.
open and he reloaded, you
So
can
you
get
give
naded.
yourself options if you know you're using the pole and using this side. But yeah, the main point of this situation is the fact that you know he's got teammates around him, but I'm not supporting him fast enough.
Yeah. And also, it's like I can already hear, but he was gonna die anyway. There was a guy behind him. It doesn't matter in situations where that guy isn't behind him. This changes the outcome.
Yep,
You know?
100%. Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, this is actually getting to the part I wanted to talk about as well. So
Okay,
Jake,
just let me know.
Alright.
As you can see, I didn't
So
have to push in.
can
Yep.
you swap to my POV? All right, so I'm in their base. Actually,
Oh,
swap
Fraser.
to Fraser's. Yeah, Fraser's. Okay, so I get the trade here. Yeah, you see, he's full shields. He cleans me up. All right, so what does he do from 9 minutes 40 seconds? Let's see.
And then you
Alright.
just jumped out and committed. That's like one other
Yeah.
thing.
15 seconds for nothing, just to average your death. You know.
He's looking for something to happen, and I think I understand. Like, it's just the way he looks for information is definitely different.
I think it's definitely the fact that I'm the one that killed him and cleaned him up, and then he saw me get camo, so he's very like he's
Yeah.
stressing too much. And
Yeah,
I hope that we
yeah.
covered it earlier, so I don't have to touch any more on
Yeah.
it. But you have to use your camo eyes. Don't funnel back into your base. Don't turtle back into your base.
But man, 15 seconds. That's literally a quarter of a minute.
I want to talk about this jump as well, this committing part. So like, when you should have been here the whole time, right? Should have been holding
Yeah,
this angle.
Yeah.
But now that you're here, just watch over Dom. Like, you jumping here, one, it makes it harder for you to shoot. Two,
He's
you're no
getting
longer
fucked up
using
as
that
well.
fin, that bump as cover. And three, because of the fact that you're jumping, I know Halo 3, this is where I learnt it. If you jump, you're 100% committed to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
So the better players won't jump anywhere near as much. The only times that you ever jump is to level change. So if I'm like up here and I jump, they're not going to have their reticle. They're not going to expect me to be super high. You know what I mean? Same thing if I'm here. If I try to jump over, like, they're not going to shoot me in the head most likely. So yeah, in this situation, I wouldn't be jumping. You're committing. I know you're trying to connect to Dom, but Dom's close to you. You've already got an angle on where he's getting shot at.
And I'm sure that was just like dead play. Dom died there. Like there was no way he was living there.
And as you can see, that double team from his screen looks lethal, man. Like the bait and switch.
Yep. But like he wasn't even running around his base. He was just sort of walking down the bottom. He was just taking very slow paths. You know. Like if you really like, he could have just been sitting bottom base, looking at P through that tunnel if he was that scared. You know. At least that way, he's still gonna have be able to help Dom.
Yeah.
Spawn,
Alright, I'm
or
going to turn
someone else
outlines
spawn.
off now for this play that I wanted to talk over. So, I'm watching for the enemies. I check car because I haven't seen it in ages. And now I'm waiting. I see two people at once. I'm like, okay, who am I going to kill? I instantly see like someone on my radar. So I'm like, okay, who's he going for? I'm still waiting. I'm not committing until I know for sure. So he's not... Now I know for a fact that he's not coming out like this side. Otherwise he'd be getting closer. You know what I mean? So he's going this way. So single him out. Now I know where I was getting shot from that whole time, which was that guy bottom mid, but now I'm getting shot by this guy. I'll show you Snakey's pulp before I proceed. Where is he?
He's dead.
So yeah, you'll see Snakey ends up seeing me with camo. He comes down here. Let's see if I can catch it. right there. You can see me with camo because I start to move.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit, there's a guy that has camo.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then I know where he is roughly. Again, I can't, like, I just know the direction he's headed in, so it's just me checking there. I don't know his exact location. Like I said before, he could be bottom mid hiding, so. Anyway, I see him jump up there. Luckily, he's one hit by this time.
Yeah, or else that could have been pretty lethal, but
Yeah.
Snaky's position could have been so much more powerful if his teammates played their positions way differently.
I do want to show you, oh yep, Snaky's pub right here. This was where you kind of get in their head. Because, let's see.
Oh, so this was before. Okay.
So he gets cleaned up, right? Comes off spawn because Barcode is pulling that flag now-ish. There we go, pulling the flag. He comes off spawn and he's like, alright, fuck, I need to be a part of this flag play. He saw Fraser just died car 1 and knows that there's a guy there. So now he's worried about his immediate threat. Now he's just worried about here, and he's not worried about anything else. But he also, at the same time, knows he's under a lot of pressure because of the fact that he can't waste too much time with this guy because he also needs to somehow stop the flag or at least be a part of the play. So he tries to get this front base angle, which means he's not thinking about someone like me who's escorting Barcode back, and I'm ready for this overextension. So he gives away a dumb death there. And I'll just show you because this is a tiny little thing, but this will help. So I'm crouched right here. I know I've got camo, but I'm crouched and I'm pretty much head glitching this tiny little spot. So crouching also helps your aim, I believe, anyway, because you're just super focused on your aim at that point, not so much strafing or whatever, and you move like slightly less left to right, so you can adjust your aim a lot better and a lot smoother. Even though I do end up missing a couple shots here, still gives us the kill because Snaky's like panicking about that flag.
Even his thrust is questionable.
Yep, go for the bait down. I know this is nitpicky now. So here, he's got the jump on me. He's got the first one shot. Was that just one shot? Maybe two? I don't know.
I think. Nah, one.
One?
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Theater makes it look like two, but I think it was.
Oh, that was two. That was two. I felt like, anyway, one or two, it doesn't matter. He knows his up shots, right? So now it's all about how he plays this to his advantage. So let's see what he does. He instantly tries. So here's one thing that I tried to do. The closer that you get to someone that's above you, it's going to be harder for them to look down.
Yes.
Yep.
I know that there's a lot of plays that we could, like a lot more better plays of this example, but just trust me, just be underneath their feet. It's harder for them to look down and aim. And also it stops them from being able to see you easy if he jumps up here. So he's got like the first 3 shots in this situation.
Yeah.
Got like 4 shots on me now. Misses that one. See how I'm getting like closer under him? I'm trying to angle him off.
Yeah.
So one, that buys time for my team to hopefully help, which I don't have anyone in this situation. But 2, it gives me the ability to back him down and then hopefully like sneak away. I have no cover in this situation except for that wall. So hopefully I can get away fast after that. But he ends up over challenging because he jumps here in this situation. That's the main point in this situation, is he just jumps out rather than continuously peeking like that tug of war that we mentioned at the start. Rather than just, because he was winning this tug of war, so all he has to do is like keep winning until he's losing, and then when he starts losing, he's not jumping out committed like this. Instead, he's playing his life, forcing me to push him if I want the kill. Yeah, he ends up losing that battle. And it's just battles like that where you're up shots and you give it away because of those things that we mentioned. Like, he's just jumping out committed rather than peeking and making sure that he's always in the front seat of that battle, always winning, always got the advantage. Yeah, now we can go over your radar in this play. Barcode comes off spawn, helps me with the guy top mid. Where are ya?
Coming off spawn, still there.
So he helped me with that guy. You can see me on radar this entire time. And look at my radar, I'm not pushing in. Like, it's so clear. If you're using that information, he knows from this point onwards that I'm not pushing in.
Turn around immediately. No, he's blocking that and just run it. See teammates spawned up there as well. I'll look across the map trying to see if there's anyone up top.
We should watch this from
Getting
your
shots.
pod too. I'm just gonna like run it through. I won't pause it unless something serious
Yeah.
shows itself.
So many little things that I want to say, but it's just I think that's for another video.
Wimp. Wimpy.
Once again, using cover to stay alive with
Good.
camo is not trying to peek or jump out.
This is good.
Right there, he's not shooting back. He's not engaging in that fight because if you start shooting, your camo
Aim
comes off.
assist.
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
this
and
is
aim
a-
assist as well. Like,
Experienced player.
yeah, this is a very technical, like, advanced fucking thing. But
They trigger discipline not to shoot back.
yeah, because of the reason that he knows he's got camo and it's more effective to stay hidden. You know, like if you get shot, you still have no aim assist for this guy. I mean, he has no aim assist because you know you're not really showing. Where if he shoots, more of yourself shows when you've got camo. And it's little things like that. Like, how do you pick up on stuff like that, Barcode? Because I know people could be playing for years and they don't learn stuff like that. Like, what is it that makes you, you know, learn
Sorry.
that stuff?
Well, honestly, I think it's like me knowing he had the first shot on me. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
right? And
he
I
did.
was weak that entire time. So I was just like, honestly, if I shoot back here, I'm probably gonna get averaged. And if I shoot back, he's gonna get his aim assist. But luckily, instead, I just was strafing out a little bit,
Use the
just
pole.
getting my shields back. Yeah,
Use the
getting
pole.
that pole, and then I just continued forward into his base. Actually, or did I? No, I'll go
I'd say
top
the
mid.
shark fin. I'd say the time when you head behind the shark fin was probably the most pinnacle point, and not shooting back, and then when you went behind the pole, because that's when you really regained your shields.
And that's a good play within itself. It's the start of the game, you've got camo, and just coming back to top mid means you get a lot more options on who you want to shoot.
Yeah.
So that right there, even a little thing like that, I hope people like take note of just little things. You have to,
It's nerdy.
whenever you're analyzing, like, especially, well, I don't know if you want to say a better player than yourself, whether it's a pro like Snipe Down or, you know, the rest of the pros, or whether it's someone who gives you trouble in game like Barcode. Pay attention to what he's doing. Like right here, he's stabilizing and he ends up landing 1, 2, 3, 4 shots on that guy, and then still doing what he was doing the entire time. So not only is that guy one hit, and he's not really going to peak for another few seconds until he gets his shields back, but Barcode's also multitasking. And yeah, this is where the play was questionable.
Yeah, the
'cause I'm
nade.
dead.
Yeah. I could have honestly just gone up in the attic, sort of been milking a lot my life, but yeah.
Yeah, me and Jake did mention that you could have, if you really wanted to grab the flag, you could have grabbed it and thrusted back this way to window and then jumped up to pink attic. So then
Yeah.
you instantly angle off that car side.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'd say 9 times out of 10, like you've got camo, earn the
Yeah.
pick, play disciplined. You already know that I died here, so you should be thinking about who's the guy that killed me, and you should focus on that guy. So here's the other situation. That was the play where I rotated back and didn't overextend, and you did the same thing. You saw me alive over there, so you're like, oh, I'm going to go reinforce
Yep.
that. I end up dying, but you come back in. And you're not scared. Even though you saw 2 players there, you're still, like, you're going to play your life knowing that you're outnumbered, but you're still maintaining pressure on this side of the map. And he feeds you a kill, so now you know you're in a 1v1.
And I had him weak.
And yeah, you did the same thing. You tried to use your cover instantly. Like, you tried
Yeah.
to push close to this to angle him off.
Yeah,
'cause you had to
the-
reload and everything.
Mhm.
Two dead on the kill feed. You're looking for that guy that was 1 hit. You know you have no help. Let's see if you make him irrelevant. What are you trying to do here? Trying to defend?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was going to push back underneath our base because... Oh, never mind.
You just want to win this car fight by the looks. Let's see what you could have done there.
Yeah. Because...
So 2 dead. Instead of chasing this guy, I would make him irrelevant, instantly push into their flag. Or,
Yeah.
wait, where is the flag?
Oh no. Yeah, where is it actually?
Oh, I can't find
Is it maybe front base?
Oh, yep, it is. Got tossed
Yep.
out front base. That was when Ty tossed it out and I was window ledge.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's see what you could have done then, knowing that the flag is front base. Because like here's the thing, you could block bubble, but that could also be a bad thing for us too.
Yeah, well, because you guys are both in the base, and if I sit there, like they could like.
Yeah, they'll be
Put
spawning
back
like their front
flag.
base or pink side or like somewhere random, you know, because we're kind of
Yeah.
everywhere at the moment. So you wanna, if you already have two people in influential positions, meaning like we're influencing their spawn by being under
You
here
don't want to
and up
block
here.
like another spot.
Yeah, you want to make it open, so then you're 100%
Yeah.
certain where they're going to spawn. Otherwise, it's going to get messy, and we're not going to know where they're going to spawn.
Yeah.
So yeah, you end up looking for this guy. As soon as he goes up here, I would probably leave him and maybe go top mid and help the flag carrier. Like, if it says flag taken, I would just snap my attention to how am I going to help this guy.
Mhm.
Because yeah, that's the problem with being low, is like you don't really have many options on who you want to shoot.
Yeah.
The most important thing you can do when you're weak is try find points of relevance, like
On how to get back on the map and have a presence actually. Yeah.
And here's a speed thing as well. So you end up getting good shots on this guy up there. Kill him. Good. Now watch the kill feed. So there's one dead, Snakey's dead. 2 dead, 3 dead. 4 dead, right? So you know Snakey's coming off spawn like roughly about now. He's already spawned. So now it's like how quick you can do things while they're 3 dead. So he sees my service tag all the way over there, right? And that flag has been recovered, as Barcode would have been able to tell in-game with the objective marker. So he's going to try connect with he's going to make a play that's relevant with that. Now I'm running it.
he's doing such a little thing.
Yeah, he was watching my back for a bit.
Some people would even just go P2, whereas like he just took the fastest route. Like he
Yeah.
took the fastest route.
Because he's assuming that I'm safe over here, which this is where it's like nitpicky as well. Because of the fact that I can possibly get in a 1v1 here, but they were 4 dead. So we have to keep that in mind. They were 100% 4 dead. So that's why you know for a fact that they're spawning car and you're trying to get that central angle to stop that overextension.
And I did look back behind you just in case someone did spawn bottom red because that tends to happen.
So you jump up. And look, instantly look towards where the flag was. He ends up killing that guy for me. We cap the flag. One dead, 2 dead on the kill feed.
Basically, as fourth spawner here, I just opted to try get another angle / you know, just get even more room on the map that hasn't been like taken by my team up already.
Yeah, and same rule applies. Instead of him going all the way around and trying to get in this hard angle to push in, he recognized that there was 2 dead on the kill feed, and by this point there's 3 dead on the on the scoreboard, right? So now you're trying to get closer to their base. What's this? Oh yeah, I'm fighting for camo over here. You're just trying to see if I'm okay. Once again, we don't have comms, so I can't be like, oh, there's a guy out Eli. He just hears. I'll show you. Hopefully it makes sense. He just hears shooting, right? I'm playing for camo. He hears shooting. He's like, oh, okay, maybe he needs help. Rather than me saying like, nah, I'm fine, or, you know, he's at our base. Because if I say he's at our flag, Barcode could be like, oh, I'm not going to get an angle on that guy, and I'm going to quickly get this pull. You know, and start running it, knowing that I'm here with camo.
Useful shots.
Yeah, I got fucking godnated out of the Eli.
Yeah, same thing. He can see me on radar. He knows, well, he can assume, I know we said assuming is a bitch, but he can assume that he's going to get support in this situation. That's how everyone should be playing. If you've got someone on your radar that's in close proximity, you should expect help. Like, not that you should expect it, but everyone should be on the same page that they have to help each other. They need to make effort to help each other.
Mhm.
To get that help.
Challenge out for you.
Yeah. So again, such a little thing, but you know how to apply as much damage as possible and then using that thrust to get away just in time. So you kill this guy.
Also, I do not think I used my thrust there to even get to you. Hang on, rewind that. Maybe I did. But, like, I'm pretty sure I saved my thrust. Not sure.
Used it there,
Unless
I think.
No, I was looking
No,
at the
he
top
did.
right.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't.
Yeah, you just
I'm like
wanted-
counting the times when I think
Yeah.
people would thrust, and some people would have thrusted like 3 times, dude.
And I just saved it until I get into a combat encounter.
I'm gonna go over that once more.
I'm sure I didn't because I saw the thing at the top right. It didn't say I did.
Oh,
but-
not the thrust, sorry, I meant the shots. So
Oh,
one
yeah.
other little detail is counting your shots. So he's winning this battle because he's up 1, he's up 2. He misses that one, but he gets help, so it doesn't matter anymore. He hits 1, he hasn't been shot by that guy, but he counted that he got shot by the other guy, so he knows that he's still a shot, like, down, essentially. It's equal now. Then misses that one, misses that one, misses that one. Another shot in, so now he's 1 hit. Now he knows he's losing that fight, because he missed a few shots. So when you're counting like 1, 2, and then you start missing, you're like, shit, I'm probably not going to win this battle. And you instantly
Yep.
thrust away. So it's like paying attention to your shields, obviously. Like, you should feel when you're getting shot. But it's also like, if you know you're missing shots and they're hitting shots, obviously you're losing that.
Mhm.
Yep, again, use your thrust where you don't want to get shot. I come back and help you, or you end up winning this battle. Big win. Nice, that's 2 dead for us, that's like huge. You're the flag guy and you killed 2. I just run in there like an absolute bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting a couple shots on that guy is gonna help whoever...
The
Mate.
teammate that challenges.
Now this guy's up 2 shots. Even though he didn't shoot him, Barcode give this guy like a shields advantage.
Like, I would say that would be sort of an average death, but at the same time, I did try get room for my guys because, like, as I saw, I had 2 people in their base.
Yeah.
So, like, we had
you
one
killed 2, we
person
actually killed
who-
3 in that situation, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna crucify you for not, like, feeling like there's a guy under our base.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if there's 4 alive, then of course you'd be a bit more cautious, you'd be like, shit, there
Yeah.
might be someone.
Yeah. He does. I should spawn bubble, maybe? Yeah.
You're quite lucky you didn't get naded coming in your door with the flag.
True,
Yeah, I was
true.
surprised as well.
Maybe they were just super aware thinking you would go Eli, because even I think I would go Eli with the flag. I was going to say that, but it ended up going well.
And yeah, this is the end here, so it's pretty much
It's
done.
mainly so I could get shots off for my teammates as well, Colt, because as long
You can
as
still
I
do
go
it
into
though.
yeah, but like I put myself out of the fight for a few seconds. Those seconds could be enough time for them to get that flag out of the window. You know, those seconds could be enough time for them to kill the rest of my teammates that I'm not helping. You know.
But I would say that
See,
Dan's
if I-
with you though. Dan's with like behind you. Whereas like I think possibly
It was an
yeah, this
overly
is
aggressive
epic.
play. Jake's just
Yeah,
saying
this
pull
is
it back a
epic.
little bit, like just the tiniest fraction of like use this as a checkpoint rather than 100% committing to
Yeah,
getting in
yeah.
here. I want to see though if the flag was still in our base as you were doing that though.
Yeah, you just can't predict the future, but I see the situation
just
where
be
you can
prepared
still
for it.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, flag's still at home, so you might think nobody's there, nobody's there, nobody's there. They grab it as you jump towards. So you thought you were safe up until this point where they grab it.
Yeah.
But then this part here where like you kind of like challenge this, which is fine as long as you thrust to the left, which you thrust forward for the challenge. That's the only thing I would have done different. I would have got a couple shots
Yeah,
on, boom,
yeah.
instantly behind cover. Because you don't want to always, at a high level, you don't want to take a battle and get down to 1 hit. You know what I mean? You want to at least
Mhm.
have like more shields than the next guy you
Yeah.
face, hopefully. But yeah. No, I reckon that was a very long, like this was a 4-minute game, and like I hope it's easy to see why it was a 4-minute game, because just a couple good plays between me and Barcode, you know, we were part of all the flag caps just about, you know, and the recubs as well.
Was I actually as well, or was?
I'm not sure
just
if you're
those
part of
last
every
two.
single one, but either way, you were still a part of it in terms of your thinking and your execution. So even if I was the one that like pulled a flag and started running it, you were still doing something relevant to that play. So it was always in the
Yep.
forefront of your mind.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you did all three, but I'm not gonna torture anyone any longer. I reckon that was like a pretty decent analysis of this.
Mhm.
Anything else like to finish on?
Um, I'm satisfied with like what we spoke about. To be
The same. I
honest.
feel like we covered
For truth
everything.
flag, it's good. For truth flag, it's very good. Like talking about what we did.
Let me check the Discord notes. Setting up for camo, yeah, we talked about just sitting P3, overextending and rotating, we talked about being objective efficient, so yeah, just getting like the guy car 1 at the start of the game, for example. This is a bit more objective efficient, even though we haven't pulled a flag yet. This is just the last example we'll leave on. So like, I see 2 guys up there, here's 1. I know there's 1 more guy at car. And instead of letting him waste my time, objective efficiency is getting closer to what actually matters. Even if I kill that guy, it's not going to turn into a cap necessarily because we don't have anyone over here. So you really need to be over at their flag and getting kills.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll end it on that note. Thanks for joining, Jake, by the way, Colt and Barcode. I
No
feel
worries,
like we
man.
did pretty well. Let's guess
Yeah,
how long it
that's
is.
good.
An hour and 50 minutes long.
An hour and 50 minutes.
I should have taken that water that you know, we should have got it at the start. I didn't have a glass of water this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have time for another analysis today, but we'll try do another one tomorrow or something if we have time.
Yeah. I've got
Nice.
work tomorrow at 4:30.
Alrighty. Alright, all good. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Again, leave any comments and questions below so then we can actually talk about it so it clears it up. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks.